According to AAA, the vehicle technology designed to stop you from hitting something when you're backing up might not always work.
The AAA says it studied 4 vehicles that use reverse automatic emergency braking and rear cross traffic mitigation. And they say through those tests, they resulted in some crashes.
AAA spokesperson Adrienne Woodland joins us live for more on this. Thanks for being here today, Adrienne.
Thank you for having me.
So there's some interesting data and the results here that I'd love to dive into. But before we do, let's just start with the takeaway here. Am I reading this correctly in that these features can help reduce some crashes, but not to the point where we can rely on them completely?
Exactly. The features are, shown to significantly reduce crashes, but we want drivers to not depend on them completely.
So obviously this feature is meant to help, but if that is the case with these studies, that's a bit of a problem. How often are we seeing issues like this?
So on the AAA study, we studied 4 vehicles that you mentioned, and our AAA engineers wanted to answer 2 questions about the vehicles they evaluated. One, how does the reverse automatic emergency braking systems with rear cross traffic mitigation perform when backing out of a parking space into the path of an oncoming vehicle where there's a parked vehicle that's obstructing the view? And also how the systems work when encountering a static simulated child pedestrian behind the vehicle.
Does this kind of go hand in hand with some of the other features that we've seen in more recent vehicles, like blind spot monitoring? Is it a similar takeaway there where these things might help, but if you get too used to them and you rely on them too much, you could run into some problems?
Yeah, so, AAA's advice to drivers is you should not only rely on the emergency braking systems to prevent collisions when backing up, but you want to consider these, like use of sensors and other things like that, as a way to enhance your awareness. But you don't want to depend on them fully. You still want to be alert and you still want to concentrate on the task of driving.
What are some preventative measures that drivers can take just to avoid any kind of major issues on the road?
So, and certainly when it comes to backing up, drivers, you always want to back up cautiously, especially when there's an object obstructing your view. You want to back up, you want to pause once the rear of your vehicle has cleared the obstruction, and it gives the sensors time to detect a potential collision and bring the vehicle to a stop.
Now, is this technology pretty much the same across the board, or were some vehicles better than others?
So in terms of the results, what we found is for the backing up scenarios involving a subject vehicle crossing behind the test vehicle, the reverse AEB systems automatically applied brakes in about 65% of test runs, and it prevented a collision in about 2.5% of test runs. In the scenarios with the stationary child target behind the vehicle, reverse AEB automatically brakes in about 75% of the test runs, and it prevented a collision in about 50% of the test runs.
Are there any specific factors that can sometimes trigger some of the issues that we're seeing in those tests, whether it be weather or the cameras not working properly?
There's a lot of different things. Reverse AEB is reported to be the most effective ADAS in terms of property damage liability claim reduction, while injury and fatality reductions were less pronounced than that of front AEB. And backing collisions usually happen between vehicles at a significantly lower speed, resulting in a lower injury rate and a fatality rate. However, children are particularly susceptible to backover incidents in driveways and parking lots.
Yeah, something especially to keep in mind if you've got kids in the neighborhood, kids at home. Got to keep everyone safe. AAA spokesperson Adrienne Woodland, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.